no sushi or biltong. So also we had to do fasting. And I was accustomed to fasting, but short spells. And this time it was a little bit longer. And I was just really grateful that I didn't have any detox symptoms. And it's because I had done the raw beforehand, and I had, really been on the natural way for a while. And it showed me just how important that is. So there were no headaches or anything. But, when you have a husband who's not joining you on this game plan, you have to still cook meals for him. And so I was doing that. And you do feel a little bit, not so happy about that. But the next day, after my first day of fasting, I woke up, your legs a little bit shaky if you're not used to it. And I made him his usual fruit smoothie, and I sinned because a little drop fell over the side of the jar, and I did this. And you know what? Nothing tasted so magnificent as that little bit of fruit. Anyway, I did this, I think it was the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Yeah. And by the 16th, I could have carried on. I really could have. And I was quite fine, full of strength. I was taking people shopping and doing all sorts of things and not feeling weak or weary at all. It definitely gave me a better relationship with God. More sensitive, more compassionate, especially compassionate for people who are hungry. No, I joke, I wasn't hungry. But my child came on the last day, and she had a major problem with her family, and we had a really fantastic prayer session together. And I really, really wept with her. When the Bible says, weep with those who weep and rejoice with those who rejoice, it really happened. But seriously. And I was on a high. So I know that spiritually it's the most wonderful thing. Then I noticed, my pH. I tested my pH, and the day after, it was 7.5. So that was tremendous. It regulated the potential for hydrogen and brought me, into a good alkaline balance. I was very careful how I broke the fast, and you'll probably hear more about that, so I won't labor that. And then I noticed that I suffer from skin cancer now and again if I go into the sun too much. And it happens just under my eyes here. So it's not a nice place to happen. I've had it burnt off 3 times both sides. I'll never do that again. Now I know just to use a dab of barley leaf mixed with a bit of water, and it sorts it out. But I had gone into the fast with a little bit of the skin cancer. By the time I'd finished the fast, it had gone. And I just remember Mary Ruth Swope, who's a professor of nutrition in America, saying how she, in her fast, and she's a woman in her 80s, had a scar from a horse riding accident from when she was in her teens. And when she did a long fast, she actually started to lose the scar. The body started to heal, a very old wound. So that encourages one to look at things that the body needs to repair while you're fasting. And then my taste buds just went on the route march. I can tell you what, fruit never tasted so nice. And it was so sweet that I had the garden trio the day that I broke my fast. It was so sweet I had to keep diluting it with water. Now normally, don't notice that it's that sweet. So it really makes you appreciate the taste of natural things. So, Flate, no, that's your line, I won't say that then. I'm finished, but I'm going to ask Rosemary to come up and just share her side of what she noticed when she did this fasting for the Natural Way Consultants program. Thanks, Rose.
Well, basically, I don't do fasting. The church would go on a fast and I would just not be there. Because by 11 o'clock, if I haven't had my 11s, I'm doing one of these. So, I just make myself scarce when there's a fast on. But as soon as I started doing the dance course, I realized that I was going to have to do the fasting if I wanted to do the course. So, that's where I was at. I did exactly what I was told. I did the week's raw, which was fine, no problems. Went into the fast, no hunger feelings, no shaking, no anything. It was absolutely wonderful. I mean, I was just amazed at myself that, you know, everything was all okay. The only problem was I was bored out of my mind. I had nothing to look forward to. I mean, I love my meals. And so breakfast, lunch and supper just weren't there, not to mention 11s and 40s, you know. And that was the biggest problem, I think, in my mind. To the extent where on the last day of the fast, at 9 o'clock at night, I could not wait till the next morning. I took a banana, I couldn't stop it. Then after the fast you have to go on to raw again, which was fine, we did that. But I forgot to read some of the small print, which says, do not even look at salt. And I put some salt on. And as Marianne has said, it will cause you to binge. She is so right. Read the small print. Do not touch salt. The second time I fasted, which was about a year later, I had a very bad, what I thought was a very bad experience in that by the second day, I was having palpitations. And my pulse was very, very strong. And I'm moving very fast. And I was scared out of my little tiny mind. So I actually cut the fast.
What day was that?
But evidently that is normal.
What day did your palpitations start?
Second day.
Second day.
Yeah, it was just very early, and
Yeah.
I didn't have anyone sort of on tap that I could find. Couldn't get hold of Marianne, and I just thought like the best thing is to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just mentioning that because I think Marianne's going to deal with it. And the other thing is I had someone else who I put onto fasting, and the second day she actually blacked out. Now that sort of didn't make me very happy either. But Marianne is sorting that out. But it's just for you to know these things are natural, they are normal, but when they happen, you sort of think, oops, you know, doesn't sound so nice. So I'm giving you the good and I'm giving you the bad. Thanks.